Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome, as Kat said, to the Missouri DDD&U webinar for July. These webinars are targeted to self-advocates, families, caregivers, and anyone else who is interested in the topic. We chose to have this schedule, to schedule the webinars during the lunch break in hopes that folks could take their break and join in and eat lunch as we go along. So try to keep it convenient for folks. As Kat said, they are recorded, so if people can't join in on the lunch break, then they can go back and watch it at a later time. The focus on the webinar today is to share some resources with you that were recently added to the Division of DD's Self-Advocacy webpage. And I'm going to go ahead and get us started. I am Lisa Nothouse. I am the Supporting Families Lead at the Division of DD. My youngest daughter has a developmental disability and receives the services through the division and our local SB 40 board. So what that means is my family and I have been involved in the DD systems for a little over 30 years. I'm aging myself today. Kara Reedy, the advocacy specialist at the Division of DD, is also going to join the webinar today. She'll introduce herself here in a few minutes and provide us some more information and resources that are available. Our agenda for the webinar today is talking about plain language easy readers, reviewing easy readers available from the Division of DD, reviewing some self-advocacy skills, looking at the division's self-advocacy webpage, and exploring the Charting My Life course training modules. So what is plain language easy readers? Some folks are probably pretty familiar with that term. There seems to be a lot of efforts right now taking place in many arenas to provide information in a way that is easier for people to digest. Basically, an easy reader is a booklet that is designed to provide effective communication in a way that makes the content easier to understand. An easy reader uses headings that helps the reader be able to scan the document and find the information that they're looking for. It breaks text down into bulleted lists. It uses shorter sentences and generally has pictures that go with it to help provide a visual element. On this slide, you're going to see that we currently have 6 easy readers available. We have the titles of Ways to Keep You Healthy, What is the Division of DD, What is Medicaid and Mo Health Net? What is your individual support plan? Knowing your rights and responsibilities, and saying no to abuse and neglect. And as I said, those easy readers are on the division self-advocacy webpage, and Kara's going to navigate that for us in a little bit so you can see where they're at. I'm going to try to share my screen with you all. I want you to see what one of the easy readers looks like. I'm hoping that you're seeing, if you guys would give me a heads up, Kat or Kara, are you seeing the easy reader?
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect, thank you. This is the one that we developed in conjunction with partnerships from folks at UMKC. They helped us put these together. This is the one on what is the Missouri Division of Developmental Disabilities. And as I said, it's a document that tries to take a lot of complex information and make it easier and more digestible. Let's just scroll through here real quick, just so that you get an idea of what we're looking at. We've got the pictures that are there, broke it down into some simple sentences, sentence statements. Not a lot of content on the pages, so it doesn't get too confusing. And as I said, these are on the division's self-advocacy webpage that Kara's going to share with you a little bit later, but I wanted to make sure that you guys knew that those were there. Appreciate that if you're working with families and individuals, that you share these resources with them, and that's our intent, is to get them in the hands of the people that we serve. So that's my part of the presentation. I'm going to turn this over to Kara and hopefully get you back on track. Grab the ball.
Lisa, did you want to talk about the future easy reader topics first?
Oh yeah, we do. That's right. We are going to add on. We've got several more that we're bringing on board. They're currently in the final development phase. We've got topics that are selecting a housemate, having your own home, some of the employment functions when you're in the self-directed supports program, participating in different surveys, and understanding waivers, which is a big one. So as I said, those are currently in development. They're in the final review stage now. So those will be added to our website in the near future. So keep an eye out for those, and Kara will navigate you through where you can find those resources as well. Thanks, Kara.
No problem. So as Lisa said, I'm Kara Reedy. I am an advocacy specialist with the Division of DD. I have been here about 9 months, so Lisa has a little bit more time on me here. But I do come from a social work background, and I actually have a very special son too with DD. So I've got a few different ways and levels of experience to bring to the table. So very excited to be here. So I'm going to talk to you today about self-advocacy, why it's important, and then some of the training. I'll take you to the page that we created for that, to some of the trainings too. So I'll go ahead and get started. So first off, we'll talk about what is self-advocacy. So self-advocacy, it provides the knowledge needed to succeed and the chance to participate in decisions that are being made about your own life. So I've got a list here, and this isn't all inclusive, but these are some of the important pieces. So speaking up for yourself, making your own decisions about your own life. So learning how to get information so you can understand things that are of interest to you. So that's kind of where the easy readers come into place. Learning about self-determination, finding support in your journey, knowing your rights and responsibilities, problem solving, listening, and learning. And probably most important is reaching out to others when you need help and that friendship. So why is self-advocacy important? Well, it's important for everyone, but it's especially important for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. When people do not advocate for themselves, they might be pushed to do things that doesn't feel right to them. It can make them feel down. They may also lack self-confidence and feel as though their life is out of control. So the goal of self-advocacy is to equip people with knowledge to make informed, authentic decisions, and also to empower them to make those decisions. And I think there's three main parts or three takeaways to really remember when you think about self-advocacy listed here, which is knowing yourself, knowing your needs, and knowing how to get what you need. So the first step, know yourself. So the first step in self-advocacy is learning everything you can about your needs, your disability, your strengths, and challenges. For example, are you self-motivated or are you a little bit of a procrastinator? What goals are you trying to achieve? So as you learn more about yourself, it's imperative to learn exactly what your rights are, where you can go for help, support, and information on standing up for those rights. So there's a number of excellent resources to help you on your path to self-discovery. And I'll show you some of these things that the Vision provides, as well as some outside resources as well. Secondly, know your needs. So identify your needs and wants and ask for help in meeting them. Perhaps you want to learn more, but you're not a strong reader. Or maybe you want to get a job, but you don't have your own vehicle. So once you identify your needs, you can devise a plan on how to get them. Thirdly, know how to get what you need. You've identified your strengths and weaknesses. You know what it is you want to accomplish and what you need to make it happen. So that's where some of the self-advocacy training can come in. So this self-advocacy training, as Lisa mentioned, can be found on the Missouri DD webpage. And I'm going to share my screen in a little bit to kind of go through this with you. But Charting My Life course, it's a set of online interactive trainings created with self-advocates for self-advocates. So in that piece, I think that makes it unique since it was created with self-advocates for self-advocates. And this is specifically for advocates with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families and caregivers. the trainings are organized around three main topics: discovering, charting the life course, discovering the support star, and discovering your good life. All right, and then I've got a couple more slides on here that will show you how to navigate, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like from the division page. I'll start with you from the Division of Mental Health page. Okay, everyone see my screen?
I am now. It looks good.
Okay, perfect. So the easiest way to start, easiest for you to remember, is just to start at the Department of Mental Health page if you'd like. A lot of the resources are going to be on this Developmental Disabilities tab. That's our home. If you scroll to the bottom and you find under popular sections, there's a tab for community supports, which if you have time, there's all kinds of good information on this page, but we'll start here on the community supports. And then you find the thumbs up, which I love, the icon for self-advocacy. Click on that. So here is the new self-advocacy page that I've created with the help of my team. Gives you a nice definition of what is self-advocacy. Then it gives you the training. And here's those easy readers Lisa just showed you. There's also some information on self-determination here. And then here is some more resources outside of the division level. And recently we've added Missouri Quality Outcomes here. So it's really a great place for a lot of educational material. But we'll go ahead and take a look at this training. So you click on the accordion. It shows you the Charting My Life course. It's got the modules listed there, but you click on that. It tells you you're leaving the Missouri page. Right. Let's see how long it takes today. Normally it's quick. All right. You get to the Missouri DD training dashboard. It's going to show you here's individual and family support in Missouri. You scroll down. There's those easy readers again, the training, some connecting and networking information. So there's a lot of good information on this part too. So I'm already signed in, but normally there's this says Kara R here. Normally there would be a sign in button. It's not very large or easy to find. So kind of remember that right-hand corner to sign in. So I have my own dashboard. Once you've signed in, get your student dashboard. And I have several courses on mine, but we're going to focus today on Charting My Life course. All right, so you can click anywhere in this box and it will pull it up. The nice thing about these modules is they have a lot of interactive features. You can repeat the sections as many times as you want. You'll get a certificate of completion when you're finished. Let me see, I was in the middle of it because I go back. Okay. So like I said, it's got a lot of interactive features. Click the arrow to start. It shows you here. It also says next page. You can find the interactive elements here. It will read to you the whole time. If you want to watch a captioned video version, you can click there. If you want to see it in PowerPoint slides instead, you can click here. So it gives you lots of options, whichever way you learn best, you can choose. I'll kind of navigate through some. Can you hear this? He's speaking.
I am not hearing anything, Kara.
Okay, so I'm not sure how to make that work, but I will tell you the nice thing about this is David Forbes, who put this one together. He reads through all of it. Like on this one, he introduces himself. And it's got the sound. You can mute it. There's all kinds of things. You can share these slides, show the pages. You can do the captions. So it's really nice. I'm trying to get to, here's your navigation control instructions, which is nice. It shows you what all the buttons mean if you haven't figured it out. All right. Trying to see if I can get you through to some of the actual, here we go. So you can see what it actually looks like in the trainings. So they give you lots of information to make sure you know what you're doing, lots of great information. Each one, he reminds you how to navigate. This, I really like the homepage. It kind of shows you what to expect. And then at the conclusion, it tells you what's next. So is there any questions specifically while I'm in here about how to navigate? There is a lot on information on the page, but it's very helpful.
We have someone that asked, can you repeat the future readers?
Yeah, I sure can. The future easy reader topics will be selecting a housemate. I know that one's been discussed and requested for a while. My own home, self-directed services in regards to employment guidelines, participating in surveys, and understanding waivers. Right, I am going, if no one has any questions about this, I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay. And like I said, on these next few pages, it breaks it down for you how to navigate to the self-advocacy webpage. Kind of step by step here, these next few pages. And then the training, my life course modules training that we just went through. And I will be adding, when we get finished with this, a one-page document to give you those instructions as well. Trying to think if there's anything, and kind of like I talked about, these courses have great interactive features. You can repeat them as many times as you need. Yes, self-directed employment is a future reader. Yes. Saw that question pop up. And some other things will be coming to the self-advocacy page. I've got some videos, some educational videos in the works. We're always adding to and updating it since it is a new page. So if there's anything you guys have questions about or would like to see, always feel free to reach out to me or Lisa. We want to make sure we get the right information to the people who need it. So that is the goal. So that is it for my part of the presentation, unless anyone has specific questions for me.
I'm just looking through the chat and I'm seeing that Tonda has made some comments about, yeah, absolutely. One of the great resources that the division has is the email blast, and signing up for those so that the information goes directly to folks. Putting the
Yes.
Yeah. I'm hoping, yeah, our email blast, I just dropped the link to that in the chat box for everybody. And yeah, Tonda, you asked about self-directed and employment as a future reader. It's actually the employment piece of being an employer, the employment authority, the budget authority, that kind of stuff, in that program specifically. So not just employment as a separate topic, but employment in that program. And it was a biggie because, as you know, that was kind of some heavy information to try to break it down into smaller bite-sized pieces. So again, those are going to be available shortly. They're in the final review phase now, so those will be added to the website when they are ready. And also, Kara, you know, you and I have talked a little bit about those training modules. I just want to say that I think that is a really good opportunity for folks to sit down and maybe with a caregiver or maybe with a parent. That's a great learning curve for everybody involved. It isn't just for self-advocates to do alone. So if you're supporting somebody with a developmental disability, this would be a good time, not only for you to learn the process, but also to help them navigate through and learn maybe a little bit about themselves. I think those modules are really good for that. We do a lot of work collaboratively with the UMKC folks and the Missouri Family to Family. The life course tools are some good resources as well. Not sure.
I think that's a great idea, Lisa. And while they sit down and do that together, I think that will be a great opportunity for discussions to be had between self-advocates and their families and caregivers about what they really do want. I think it'll give them a good platform to do that.
Yeah, and I dropped that link into the life course tools, one of the websites that kind of goes back and rehashes some of those information material that you mentioned.
Yes, perfect.
All right, well, if there's not any other questions, I think we'll move on and just say that the next Missouri DDD&U webinar is scheduled for July 26th. So mark your calendars now and hope you guys can come back and join us for that. And please, as we said, if you work with individuals, family members, caregivers, share this resource with them and have them log in and join in and participate. The more the merrier. That's the whole purpose, is to get information into the hands of the people that we serve and support. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much. And watch, as Kat said, the webinar and information will be posted on our website. I think Kat dropped that link in early on in the chat. So be sure to check back and watch as you can. Thanks.
Thank you.